Union Cabinet approved three semiconductor units in India with an outlay of around 76,000 crores. And CG Power is going to be one of the companies setting up a semiconductor unit in Gujarat in partnership with two companies, one from Thailand and one from Japan. Now, this doesn't mean that this company is going to give you revenues and profits from semiconductor space in the next 6 to 12 months. What their management says is that it is going to take them at least 4 years of time to start realizing these revenues. Now, a couple of very, very important points about this stock that you must know. Point number one is that if you see my screen, you will notice that in the last 3 years, the sales of the company has grown by around 40%. And if you look at the profit growth, you will see that in the last 3 years, the profits have grown by 111% CAGR basis. What is driving this growth in the company is what we need to understand. And very quickly, if you see, 68% of their revenues are coming from industrial systems, out of which 18% is contributed by railways and 32% are coming from power systems. Both these segments, power system as well as industrial, in the last 2 to 3 years have been trending like anything. And in my view, in the next 5 years, these both segments are going to give really, really good revenue visibility because there is a lot of capex going into these sectors. And I've spoken about these in my various videos on this channel, including BHEL and many other power sector themed stocks. And that is why precisely last 3 years fundamentals, if you consider of this stock, you will see EPS growth has been around 104%. ROCE has been very, very good, 50%. And when their semiconductor plant is ready, that is going to further boost these revenues in my view. Secondly, if you look at the balance sheet of this company, you will see that debt is very, very low. Almost a debt-free company is what we can see here. Last very important point about fundamentals of this stock is that the company as of March 2024 is sitting at unexecuted order book of around 6,000 crore, which is 45% higher than the previous year for the next 1 year at least. Coming to the valuation of this stock, you will very quickly notice that the PE is very high compared to the industry PE, and PB is also very high comparing to the industry PE. But there is a reason the stock is enjoying this premium because of the tailwinds I've explained in the semiconductor space, in the power space, in the industrial segment space. And that is why you see capital goods manufacturing stocks such as Siemens, ABB, they all are trading at a very high PE right now. And that's why investing in such stocks in the SIP mode makes more sense than investing in lump sum. Not a stock recommendation here, but I've given you this analysis and I've created a full video about this stock on my channel. Please go ahead and watch it if you need more details about this stock. Before I move to stock number 2, one thing about SIP investing is the complication of calculating the taxes. For example, if you have been doing SIPs and if you build a corpus of, let's say, 10 lakh rupees, and now if you want to redeem 2 lakh out of it, how to go about calculating capital gain taxes? Is it going to be short-term, long-term capital gain? And this brings me to the partners of this video, ClearTax. ClearTax have made capital tax gain calculations very, very easy because using ClearTax, you can import thousands of capital gain transactions within seconds, and then automatically it will calculate your capital gain taxes. And finally, it will select the right ITR form for you. ClearTax allows you to import capital gain transactions from more than 25 stock brokers and 20 plus crypto brokers. It will show you summary of short-term capital gain, long-term capital gain across various assets such as mutual funds, stocks, etc. You can also see individual transactions as well. Beauty of filing your returns using ClearTax is that as soon as you enter your PAN number and upload your Form 16, it extracts your personal income details and pre-fill up to 90% of your information available with the IT department. While filing the returns using ClearTax, it will also give you tax saving suggestions. Based on your information, it will recommend you the best regime for you to save maximum taxes. With AI assistance, 24/7 support, and free notice management services, ClearTax, in my view, offers best tax filing experience and unparalleled peace of mind. I would recommend you to check out ClearTax for your income tax needs, and you can use my code to get additional 10% discount straight away. The link is in the description. Second stock is a hospital stock called Narayan Hrudayalaya. If I invest in 100 rupees per month in the last 5 years, that 6,000 rupees would have become 14,000 rupees as of now. That translates to an XIRR of 36%. Again, past is not a prediction of the future, but we still need to know how the stock has performed in the past. If you see the last 5 years of stock price history, you will notice that again, this is not a cyclic stock. It has been a growing stock in the last 5 years. More importantly, if you see the valuation of this stock right now, for example, PE ratio is well below the industry level. And if you compare this with many other leading hospital stocks, you will find it at a very low PE as well as low PB right now. But more importantly, if you look at the fundamentals of this stock, for example, if you look at the ROC percentage, ROE percentage, because hospitals are capital intensive stocks, you will notice that these numbers are really looking very, very good compared to many other hospital stocks. Even if we consider 5 years of ROE, 5 years of ROC percentage, you will notice that compared to many other hospital stocks, these numbers are looking very, very good in my view. If you look at the P&L account of this stock, you will notice that right now the stock is sitting at all-time high revenues, all-time high profits. If you look at the last 3 years of sales growth, 25% of CAGR, which is very, very healthy. Compounded profit growth in the last 3 years is around 365%. But what really matters is the future. And if I speak about future, company wants to spend around 1600 crores of capex. Have a look at this FY25 projected cash. These numbers are in rupees millions. So I have converted them into crores. And if you total these up, it will come out to be around 1600 crores of capex, which is going to be more than double of what they did in FY24. And this capex is going to go into building new hospitals, new infrastructure. All of that in the long run is going to give a lot of revenue and profit visibility in my view. That's why this stock is a long-term bet, and SIP investment in such stocks makes a lot of sense in my view. Not a stock recommendation again, but I've given you a lot of analysis about this particular stock. But lastly, I want to also speak about one of the biggest risks that hospital stocks are facing right now, that the Supreme Court has been asking Indian government to ask private hospitals to standardize their hospital charges, due to which many hospital stocks, including Narayan Rudalya, has been under huge pressure in the last 2 to 3 months. That's why in the last 1 month, the stock has given minus 5% returns. The next big action that is going to happen on hospital stocks is 10th of September. That is when the Supreme Court will hear the plea, and there may be some more updates coming from that particular hearing. So far, if you're liking this video, request you to hit the like button. It takes us 8 to 10 hours of time to create one video, so appreciate your support, and therefore request you to let me know in the comments a simple thank you. It will motivate me to come up with such content for you at zero cost. Also, if you're looking to get in-depth analysis of stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, and various other assets, you can consider subscribing to my YouTube member community. Because almost on daily basis, I post in-depth analysis of various assets, and you will find that hugely beneficial for your investing journey. Third stock is from auto sector, Mahindra and Mahindra Limited. Have a look at my screen and you will see that if I invested 100 rupees per month in the last 5 years, my total 6,000 rupees of investment would have become 20,000 rupees. And this translates to XIRR of around 52%. Now, Mahindra, as all of us know, is operating in multiple segments like auto and farm, finance and technology, even growth gems such as Mahindra Life Spaces. But the reason I like this stock is because of their leadership in the SUV segment. Some of their SUVs, for example, SUV 700, have got massive bookings within few hours. So have a look at these numbers here yourself. And if I speak about the leadership in the SUV segment, you will see that they're number one from a market share perspective, from a revenue perspective, but from a volume perspective, they are number 2 right now. More importantly, the reason I'm very bullish about the SUV segment is because SUVs have been consuming a lot of market share from the passenger vehicle segment. Have a look at this data. I don't know whether you can read this, but in FY20, 34% of passenger vehicles were SUVs versus now 60% in FY24. So it has gone up from 34% to 60% in the last 4 years. And that is why companies like Mahindra and Mahindra have been building capacity. Have a look at my screen. In FY20, they had 19K of overall SUV capacity, which now stands at around 49K. And the company projects it to go to 72K by the FY2026. By FY23, company is going to launch 23 new models into the auto and farm sector. 27,000 crores of capex is likely to happen between 25 and 2027. And this is why precisely I say stocks like Mahindra and Mahindra are future long-term bets because of the capex injection that the company plans to do. Last point on Mahindra and Mahindra is the valuation. If you look at the valuation from a PE ratio perspective, from a PB ratio perspective, it is not hugely overvalued, almost trending at the industry PE right now, almost half of the industry PB right now. Moving on to fourth stock, which is from the power sector, a company called REC Limited. I've spoken about REC Limited a lot on my channel, and there are videos that you will find. But if I speak about the SIP returns of the stock, you will notice that in the last 5 years, if I did 100 rupees per month, my 6,000 rupees would have become 26,000 rupees. And this translates to XIRR of around 64%. Now, I'm not going to deep dive into REC because I've done a lot of analysis already. But the main tailwind that you need to know about this stock is the investment that is going to happen in the power sector. Have a look at my screen and you will see that Indian government wants to add around 570 gigawattage by 2031 and 2032. This is a huge capacity that is going to get added into the power sector. And if I give you the breakup of this, you will notice that renewable power sector is going to see majority of that, which is going to be 375 gigawatts, followed by thermal, which is going to be around 87 gigawatts, followed by hydro, which is going to be around 42 gigawatts, and lastly the nuclear capacity that is going to be around 12 gigawatts. Now, one option is to find stocks which are operating into renewable energy sector or thermal or hydro. For example, likes of SJVN, NHPC are very good hydro players. Now, each of these companies will have their own risk profiles, their own return profiles, and so on. And the second option is to find companies that are going to fund these companies that are going to operate in the power sector. And this is where REC comes. If you look at the outstanding loan book of REC, you will notice that it is standing at around 5 lakh crores, and they're financing a lot of companies into the power sector. So their loan book is constructed by multiple companies that are operating in power generation sector, power distribution, renewable, hydro, and a lot. So no matter where a company is operating, whether it's operating in hydro, thermal, or solar, they are going to need money. They're going to need capex investment, and this is where companies like REC are going to give them financing. And if you want to know more about REC, I've created 2 videos on my channel. Please go ahead and watch them. I'm not going to discuss those details here. But lastly, I will quickly touch upon the valuation of the company. Have a look at the PE ratio. Have a look at the PB ratio, well below industry level right now because of the higher earnings that the company has been enjoying in the last 12 months. Moving on to stock number 5, which is from the banking sector, the stock called SBI. If I invested 100 rupees per month in the last 5 years, my 6,000 rupees would have become around 13,000 as of now. And this translates to an XIRR of around 32%. Now, the reason I really like SBI as a bank and is one of my long-term bets is because of what you see on my screen. The sheer scale of SBI is just mind-boggling. 1 out of 3 Indians is served by SBI. When it comes to customer deposits, they have 22% market share. When it comes to the loan book, they have around 19% of the Indian market share. But more importantly, the chart that you see will beautifully summarize the history of SBI. You will notice that the quality of the loan book across various segments such as the corporate, retail loan book, or for that matter, SME loan book, agri loan book, if you see the quality of this loan book, it has been improving year on year. And you see these blue lines here, which shows you the gross NPAs that the company has been operating. For example, in the SME sites, the FY20, the GNPA used to be 9.43%. It has come down to around 3.75% now. And this has been happening while the loan book is continuously growing. You see the massive growth the SBI has seen in the loan book in the last 2 to 3 years. So growing the loan book and at the same time bringing the gross NPAs down is what you expect from a bank. And this is what precisely SBI has been doing. Now, there's a lot of criticism about SBI that 10 years ago, they used to give money to politicians and high profile people and used to then write off that debt. But my point is that I did not invest in SBI at that time. I'm considering SBI right now when the quality of the assets is at very, very good levels and the loan book is continuously growing. And the second important point I want to make about SBI is the valuation. Have a look at the PSU banks and the valuation, and you will see that SBI right now is trading at around 11 P and the industry P is at 9. Just compare the scale of SBI versus like Bank of Baroda, Punjab National Bank. Do you think the PB value of SBI should be at around 1.80? In my view, this valuation is still very, very attractive. Again, not a stock recommendation, but I've given you my view in terms of where I see SBI among many other PSU banks. So in summary, in this video, I've explained 5 stocks, but you will see the broad pattern I've followed here is that all these 5 stocks are non-cyclic in nature. Number 2 is that these 5 stocks are operating in sectors that have tailwinds or they are evergreen sectors such as banking. Point number 3 is I've picked up these stocks from 5 different sectors, giving us a very, very good diversification. Number 4 is I see visibility of revenues and profitability in the next 5 to 7 years. These are the factors I typically tend to look at while looking at stocks for long term in a SIP mode. But I would love to know which are the stocks you are considering for SIP investment for a long term. Please let me know in the comments. And lastly, as I explained in my video, calculating the capital gain taxes for SIP investing might be complicated. So definitely do check out ClearTax. You will find the link in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, keep rocking.
56 मेट्रो स्टेशन है, वहाँ पे मेट्रो अभी एंड हो रहा है, उसके बाद बनेगा. अभी तो वहाँ से राइट साइड को रोड गया आपका, जो सोना रोड की तरफ गया, उस पे बात कर रहे हो.
Do you want to become an expert in AI and machine learning? Well, Logic Mojo is here to help you get placed in AI, machine learning, and data scientist role. There is a high demand for AI and machine learning
वाटर का होटल
engineers
तो
in
आपका
software
यहाँ सहारा
industry
मॉल के
and
पास
projected to grow by 40% in upcoming years. So time to switch
कहाँ
your
पे है
career
आपके
to AI and machine learning for better opportunities and high packages. Logic Mojo helps you achieve your goals in a few months of preparation. You will learn machine learning,
एमसीएम की
deep
बिल्डिंग तो
learning,
उस
data
साइड है
science,
ना
and AI complete tech stack
एमसीएम
in
प्रोजेक्ट
live
तो
interactive classes.
वो
Solve
उस
case
साइड है
studies,
ये
assignments,
अपना
and get hands-on experience on
मेट्रो
AI
जहाँ
and machine
खत्म होता
learning
है वहाँ से
projects.
राइट साइड है
Become a certified AI professional and get placed in top tech companies. For more information about the course, log on to projectmojo.com.
आपके बेबी के बाल पंख जैसे मुलायम होते हैं, तो आइए जॉनसन्स बेबी शैम्पू को टेस्ट किया जाए एक पंख पर और इन्हें साफ करेंगे जॉनसन्स बेबी शैम्पू से और एक कठोर शैम्पू से। जॉनसन्स बेबी शैम्पू कोमलता से साफ और प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं पहले पल से। जॉनसन्स प्रॉमिस, पहले पल से।
द्वारका इस साइड हो गया द्वारका कहाँ हो गया द्वारका इस साइड है और ये गोल्फ कोर्स रोड इधर है
Power BI is the market leader in solving data management crises. This tool is mainly aimed to help organizations and individuals to visualize and organize their data. Hi everyone, I welcome you to this session on Power BI full course, which contains everything that you need to know in order to master Power BI. Now, before we move any further, let's take a look at the agenda for today. The first module, which is an introduction to Power BI, will help you understand the importance of BI, the different tools that are there, and why you should go for Power BI. It also covers the basic fundamentals of Power BI. The second module, which is Power BI Desktop, here you'll learn how to install and download the tool, and you'll also get familiar with the UI of the tool. The third module, which is Power BI Charts, will help you understand how to create impactful and comprehensive reports on the Power BI desktop. The next module, which is Power BI KPI indicators, will help you understand the importance of KPI visualization and how they can benefit an organization in visualizing their growth. The next module, which is Power BI dashboards, will help you understand how to create interactive dashboards with the help of a lot of examples and use cases. Followed by this, we have a comparison module between Power BI and Tableau. In this module, you'll understand the important features of both of these powerful tools. Followed by this, we have the last module, which is Power BI interview questions. Here you'll understand the important concepts of Power BI and how you can ace a Power BI interview. We'll also look at a couple of market trends of Power BI. So guys, before we move any further, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Edureka YouTube channel in order to stay updated about the most trending technologies.
The concept of business intelligence is something that is alien to very few people these days. With newer tools emerging every day to help solve the crisis of data management, most organizations have already moved in or have plans to use business intelligence in solving their crisis. And in this module, we are going to talk all about Power BI. Power BI is Microsoft's latest BI tool, mainly aimed to help everyone analyze and visualize their data. So without much ado, let's get started. Now, why should you choose Power BI? Before I answer this question, I would like to answer something a little more fundamental. Let's start by addressing the most essential and fundamental question: what exactly is business intelligence? Now, in an age where business intelligence has become a bigger domain than most trending technologies, if you ask 20 different people what the term means, you're likely to get at least 10 different answers. So let me try and put it in the simplest of terms without having to lose the technicality of it. Business intelligence is a set of techniques and tools for the transformation of your raw data, meaning your data sets, into meaningful and useful information to take important business decisions. To put it simply, business intelligence is the technology which gets the right data to the right people at the right time so that they can take more effective business decisions. Over the years, the process of business intelligence has grown and adapted to help solve almost all the challenges while dealing with data by involving newer tools and techniques. The change that business intelligence has seen over years can be divided into 3 waves. So let us continue with our tutorial and take a look at the first wave, IT to end user, or the technical wave. During the first wave of business intelligence, the end user had to be dependent on the IT department for data insights.
हम लोग को बता
This
दो
is because it was not possible for end users to create visualizations or reports on their own, as tools available required some technical or coding knowledge. This dependence on the IT department for insights resulted in more efforts and time consumption to get the updates done. Now, the second wave, which is analyst to end user, or the self-service wave. Now, the second wave gave analysts access to BI. Now, people with some knowledge of analytics could use BI tools. This meant more teams had the access to BI and more people could have better data insights. This eased the role of the IT teams. And finally, the third wave, which meant everyone, which means the power lied in the hands of the end user. The third wave made it easier to access data and create reports and visuals to get better business insights. The introduction of tools like Power BI, Tableau, ClickView, and Spotfire made this transition easy. Now, anybody who had a basic understanding of data could create reports to build intuitive and shareable dashboards. This was about the 3 waves of BI. And in the third view came a very important aspect, data visualization. Now, data visualization is nothing but the pictorial or graphical representation of information or data. It provides insights into complex data sets by communicating the key aspects in a more intuitive and meaningful way. Data visualization lies at the intersection of design, communication, and information service. Even though your data visualization has been termed as the key skill for research in the 21st century, it goes way, way back. It existed in the late 18th century and can be traced back to when William Playfair invented the geometrical charts. His bar charts were used to represent Scotland's imports and exports of 17 countries in 1781. These bar charts constituted a pure solution to the problem of discrete quantitative comparison. Now, obviously, we have grown to learn about more and more charts as the years pass by. We also have a few hybrid charts to make our jobs easier and our calculations more granular. The way our human brain processes the information is easier to use images, charts, and graphs to understand and visualize large amounts of complex data than going through tons and tons of spreadsheets on reports. Take the quote, "An image is worth 1,000 words," for example. This is completely true because as a human mind, images aren't just a mere collection of pixels. They hold a lot of information. This information in visual form is easy to understand than reading the same facts in text or number form. So let me give you an example. Suppose there's a company which deals with a lot of products, like Amazon, and it's widespread over the world and has many, many vendors that sell through this platform. So obviously, there's a lot of data being generated in a lot of different formats. People use Excel, Access, different databases, SQL Server, so on and so forth. Some people even make all these spreadsheets and upload it to the web. So obviously, all that has to be brought to a single platform to analyze. And then these are the reports that go to the CEOs, CFOs, and the CXO position, all the big people in Amazon. Now, you can't just take 1 million or 10 million rows of data to a person to look at and infer something, right? You need them to know what's going on. What is going on inside the company? How is the market outside of the company? And this cannot be done with hundreds and thousands of numbers. This is where data visualization comes into picture. It's about giving them an idea of what's going on inside their company in different departments without having to look at tons and tons of numbers. Well-designed graphics have the power to put this complicated data into simple pictures. And this is where modern BI wins. Data visualization is a quick and easy way to convey concepts or information in a universal manner. It can help to 1. Identify key areas and hidden patterns, 2. Get factors that give better customer insights, 3. Analyze and associate data and products properly, and finally, make proper predictions. And obviously, presentation has a big role to play in this. So, pardon me for my analogy, but if this was a beauty contest, let's go ahead and look at our winner. Now, let's see why we need Power BI. Now, there are a few points that make Power BI one of the most prominent tools for data visualization. Now, this tutorial would be incomplete without understanding these points. Firstly, Power BI can spot trends in real time. Traditional BI tools like Tableau or ClickView restrict you to historical analysis. By using Power BI, you can access real time information so you can identify trends early. By doing so, you can identify issues and improve performance. Secondly, Power BI can automatically search hidden insights. With Power BI, you can auto search datasets for hidden insights in seconds. With Quick Insights, users can simply ask questions and Power BI Q&A will answer their questions with an immediate effect.
आर्या चलो जल्दी रेडी हो जाओ
No, this one only. Okoro, okoro.
We are supercharging our remote configs with the release of our JSON editor on Byte. With our new JSON editor and remote configs, we unlock the ability to remotely update a payload to your game within a single key, so you can change multiple game values with just one config. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up now and start using Byte for free today.
Third, advanced analytics and custom visualizations. With custom visuals, Power BI allows you to visualize data in almost every way possible. As long as you can imagine it, you can put it on your dashboard. Thus, you're not limited to something that
नवान तो क्या ही लेता है।
Okay.